In this video, guys, we're going to talk about how to tent a building and not tear up your flat roof. Stick around, we'll show you what it's all about. What's up, guys? My name's Aaron. We're here in our shop, and we're doing a video this week on how to tent a building and not tear up our flat roofs. So this has been top of mind for us because it's been a tough winter, and these jobs must go on. The masons, the painters, the EIFS guys, they've got to keep working. They've got to tent these buildings and put temporary heat in them to continue. And so the topic today is, how do we have those guys do that, but also not tear up our flat roof, poke a bunch of holes, detach our walls? So that's the subject of the video. You say, well, why do you need to tent? Well, just as I said, weather has been tough this year. A lot of guys are tenting. So it affects me. It affects on several of our jobs right now. We've got tented. And so the masons are going to tent and take it down. And then a lot of times there's the masons and there's EIFS. So the EIFS guy is going to come back and tent. So if they don't do this right, there's not only one chance that they're going to tear up your roof, there's two chances. So that's kind of the point of the video. And so how do I use this video? How would I use this video in the future? If you're on a job that's going to get tented, you can blast this video to your superintendent and say, hey man, here's some guidelines to not tear up my roof. That's how I use my videos. That's how I suggest that you use them. So that's what we're going to go through. We're going to go through a step-by-step way of how these guys can tent and not tear up your roofing, and how they can tent and get their job done so you can come back in and get your metal on, your coping, and finish the job. All right, guys, so here I've got a wall section built, and this would be like what we would typically see on some of these jobs that we're on, where we have a parapet wall that comes up. It could be wood or metal frame, it doesn't matter. We've got a wood nailer on the top. We've got the membrane stretched up and over the wood nailer, and we've got it shot across the face. And so this would be the wall that either your masons, your EIFS, your painters, maybe your siding guys are even tenting because it's raining, so they hang siding in all weather. Who knows? There's a lot of reasons why. But in this really cold, frozen, icy temperature, a lot of times the trades will build scaffolding on the outside, and then they'll run some kind of plastic and cover and then put temporary heat in there. Well, I see this happening all over the place in all kinds of different ways. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of the bad ones are they come in and they take our screws out, throw them up on the roof, pull the wall back, and then they nail plastic to the top of the wall, and then they just leave. And then our walls are left hanging. So the next rain, we get called out. I say, well, I don't know. We go up on the roof. Well, our walls have been detached. Well, so that's not a good way. The other way that I see a lot of them is guys will take 2x4s or nails or cap nails, and they'll lay plastic up and over the edge, and they'll just come back through and they'll just nail the back side of our wall. Well, then what happens? Well, now we have a bunch of holes in the wall. So not good there. So we're going to back charge the mason or back charge these people to come in and fix it, or we're going to fix them in ourselves and lose money on them. So we don't want them to do that either. Sometimes I see tape. A lot of times these EIFS guys are pounding these little staples. We'll see our walls flip down, and the EIFS guy's got staples all over the top of the parapet cap. Well, we know that was the EIFS guy. I mean, that's just what that's their hallmark. So I've got a way that we're going to try to show you that I like to see them tent, and I think it's easier for them and it's better for us. So that's what we're going to show you now. All right, before I show you this, guys, I just want to stress one thing going into winter that I try to do. I try not to do any kind of drip edge details or half coping details or details where I just have a facer piece of metal and the rest of it's membrane, because I know that these guys are going to need to tent somewhere. So if I think I'm going to go into jobs that are going to be in the winter where there's going to be a tent put on this building to work, and there's that detail, I will bring it to the attention of the company that we're working for, the superintendent, whoever, so that we can get that moved to a coping. I like a full coping for the winter, and why that is because I want the top of this wood nailer to be accessible to these guys to tent, and then if they screw into the top of this membrane, I'm covering the whole thing with a piece of coping. And some people say, well, if you think that's going to be a problem for you, then when they pull their tent off, have them caulk the holes. We're usually right behind the EIFS guys or the brick guys or whoever is going on the facade. When they're done, we're coming and we're coping pretty soon after that to get finished and get wrapped up. And usually that's towards the tail end of the job. So we're not letting them sit for a long time. And so that's why I have no problem with guys in the wintertime using the top side of our wall. I don't want to see these tents put back here way down on my wall where I have to patch a bunch of holes. I want it up on the top. And so here's the easy method that I suggest that these guys use. I've just got a simple piece of plastic, like reinforced plastic, like the mason would use, and we just have them lay it right on top of the membrane, take their plastic, put it on top of the wall, right? Take a 2x4, roll it up inside here a couple of times to get a nice tight bite on it, and then just simply screw this 2x4 down straight to the top of that. The rest of this plastic is going to go out and over their scaffolding into the ground, and they can tape the joints, they can do whatever they want to, and they're going to blow temporary heat up inside this tent so that they can keep working, so their mortar doesn't freeze, so their EIFS coloring doesn't freeze or their paint doesn't freeze. That's what they can do. But I like this method because they only use the top of the wall, which I'm going to cover with coping as soon as they're done anyway. Right? And then I like this for another reason. They don't have to go on my roof. So I prefer that people are not up there. The less people on my jobs, the better. The less foot traffic, people dropping tools, poking holes, the better. They can do a lot of this from their scaffold. Remember, they've got scaffold on the outside, so super easy to take down. Unzip the screws, unroll the 2x4, and take it back off. So I always try to stress to the supers, because again, when the mason guy shows up and when the EIFS shows up, I'm not there. We've dried in, I'm on a different job, so it's not like I'm going to tell them face to face, and neither are you unless you're just camped out on a job, but I don't suggest that either. Get your job done and go on to the next one. So when the mason shows up to do his thing and they've got a tent, you can have them or instruct your supers, let them use the top of the wall. You're going to cover it with full coping anyway. That's what I always try to stress. Use this method. It's super easy. It's clean. When they pull it back off, if they feel like bad weather's coming, when they remove these, after they've screwed or unscrewed this board, they can put a little drop of caulking on the top of that if you wanted to. But usually, like I said, we're right behind them with coping as soon as the facade is done. So guys, I hope this tip has helped you. Train your superintendents to help you in the field. This will actually help the masons and it'll help the EIFS guys. They'll tent better and they'll get done faster, which means you put your coping on and get paid and go on to the next one faster. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.